Guys, what a week this was. We had strong market motivation. Indices went through the roof to the upside. Basically, stimulus, 1 year interest basically, or 1 year loans in China being reduced by the People's Bank of China. Chinese government's trying to boost the economy, and that caused the China A50 index through the roof, as said, and basically as well the entire market structure globally geared up certain motivation with potentially further upside momentum being expected if we are looking forward into the next or coming week, starting basically tomorrow. With that, welcome back and let's check out what goes in markets with our weekly market outlook for the day. The US dollar losing steam, the Australian dollar moving to the upside somehow further, potentially causing some upside motivation in the equity space. But will this market idea last kind of longer? Might be the big question. Why? Simply because there's further geopolitical tensions around the corner, and those could cause some further setbacks in entire markets. Let's observe and have a look at the further market ideas. We got China figures on Monday. Early morning on Monday, manufacturing and purchasing manager index. Likely nothing very important, but with a potential further change in figures, the further adjustment in numbers could cause some sort of further impact in markets and causing one or the other way markets might move. Furthermore, we got similar figures from Germany. PMI figures are kind of interesting. Sorry, not PMI, of course. CPI figures are interesting. And one question, and we should start with the oil market. Are we facing a potential deflationary environment? Basically, that means prices might fall in the near future, and with prices falling, this could cause further market motivation basically to be in a way negative interest rates being lowered oil prices. And let's take a look at the oil market. They might fall even further. As we see right now, the oil market had caused upside motivation. That's exactly the charting pattern telling us here. The market kind of found a bottom, causing some upside momentum here. However, at this area here, the market was already starting to weaken, and with the market turning somehow lower, there is now, and this was happening basically this week, with the market finding some lower market potential. The impact in the oil space might be interesting moving forward. Saudi Arabia trying to get a bigger part of the cake. Prices don't really matter much. OPEC's outlook, rates or kind of the rate output being increased could tell us that the impact for the economy moving further might be interesting. If we look at prices and if we would see that they might actually even weaken below this recent supportive trend line, and that is the 65 US dollar space, we could see that the market might even weaken somehow further. We are close by. There's a strong support area. If this strong supportive zone basically falls, we might say prices could potentially fall even further. And we have next lines in the sand, and those could be, let's recycle this arrow here. This could be something important and interesting here. That's the 53 US dollar area. If we are able to basically kind of even break that line in the sand here, prices in oil look kind of quite weak. We are trading well below the 50 moving average, and that's the monthly chart we eye here currently. And the impact for the economy, the impact for the equity space might be outstanding. Why? Because equities have been rising. That's the S&P 500 here, and they look like they might gear up some sort of further motivation here moving forward. The question is the air getting thin? And we have some sort of divergence in this market here, where basically the relative strength index is kind of climbing to higher levels, but not to a new all-time high. Instead, we saw a high point corresponding with a high point, another newer high or double top corresponding with a lower relative strength index. And now we've seen a higher high in the market, but the index, basically the relative strength index, was not climbing sharply. Instead, it weakened and weakens somehow further. And that sort of divergence could cause the market to basically, well, celebrate some lower prices in the near future. Looks a bit hard actually to digest this current outlook here at the moment, as obviously kind of if we are looking at those figures here and checking out what goes in the China market, basically China A50, China, where do we have it? China A50 here. We can go at this market. We can see that the Chinese index has been wildly rocking higher, and the market motivation here to the upside here with increasingly positive market sentiment is kind of fueled by the central bank, by the People's Bank of China. And this looks kind of quite interesting here moving forward. The China index following up with the entire structure of the market, US indices in strong demand, and now with the central bank not opening their floodgates, but basically trying to fight the deflationary pattern, there could be some further market motivation here to basically celebrate some interesting times moving forward. Looking at it at the economic calendar, we can look further down the road here, and let's move to Friday straight to the upfront here. We got the non-farm payrolls figures, and they are expected to be kind of unchanged in a way. Moving beyond that on Wednesday, now we're getting bigger and closer to interesting market sentiment. 124,000 the newly created jobs. So last month basically the forecast was really bad, right? Forecast 144, and the actual figure below 100,000 newly created jobs. So that's actually the ADP figure, slightly different compared to the non-farm payrolls. And now in this month the ADP figure is being revised towards, or kind of expected at higher levels, 124,000. Will this level being pushed beyond basically with a better figure? We could maybe say that the US dollar might be quite interesting. So looking at the euro dollar currency pair, this market is nearby that recent high point, trading at the high point. We can see there's a triangle formation, which by the way, if the 112 area is being broken, the resistance zone, the market might gear up some further motivation in this case. The same basically in the pound was seen. The pound is just climbing from one high to another. Might be that there is some sort of further resistance area basically in the way here. At the moment the pound though looking kind of quite positive, and again 50 moving average broken. The market was dancing around that zone basically. If we are looking at this area and then here, kind of now we saw that any retracement could be taken basically into consideration to see the market celebrating new highs towards the next higher line of the sand here moving forward. So pound stronger, the pound strengthening. Do we have any figures this upcoming week from the UK? Not too much to be honest, but obviously kind of the alternative side here with the US dollar might be giving us kind of quite some interesting further market motivation. NFP figure is something important. We have basically as well the purchasing ISM, manufacturing and purchasing manager index, JOLT job openings, kind of quite interesting as well. So we have some figures from the counter currency in the US looking at the pound itself, and of course the index in terms of risk sentiment. The Australian side is really kind of quite interesting because this week celebrated some new highs here. We've seen this resistance area here, which was basically broken as early as on Monday this week here, and now upside momentum looking positive, and any sort of retracement here towards the 68.80 area could be taken into consideration for some sort of further upside market momentum, as basically the Australian dollar is showing positive sentiment. This positive sentiment basically causing the upside momentum here for and in the entire equities space. Let's move on further. Crypto markets, XRP, Ripple, as the token is called, moving to higher levels. A breakout happening potentially. This market looks positive as well. When looking at it from this perspective, there could be some further market motivation happening here in this market, at least when looking at XRP. We have something similar from Bitcoin. At this high point, the slight falling trend line might be pushed towards the upside. Ether again has broken on the daily daily chart and retested this 50 moving average, right? We broke through here, came back to the breakout zone, and then this week so far, it looks like the market in a bit of a zigzag pattern might celebrate newer high points here. Then we would have the next line in the sand, followed by basically the next higher level. So Ether again following up with further market sentiment in a positive way. XRP we talked about, and Litecoin giving us some potential further chances as well. However, it's not really in a strong environment here. So let's take this one into consideration and think about what else we might see in markets. Furthermore, metals, precious metals. No, silver is in a way to correct at the moment. Silver is about to readily break beyond this pin bar candlestick. Any breakouts to the breakout zone here could be taken for some positive market sentiment here. So silver is currently not fighting with resistance, but retracing, we might say. Based on the monthly chart, there's still the upside going to happen, and it's just potentially a matter of time how the market behaves. Same to gold. Also the gold market looking positive here. The sky is the limit. We are well overbought based on some relative sentiment, relative strength sentiment. We thought about it this one here. Pin bar candle, retracement, no way. Pin bar candlestick again, no way. Doji candlestick, and off to the races. The markets simply don't want to stop. Just the bottom line, and that's the last but not least story we want to take here a look at here right now, which is the dollar index. The dollar seemingly is not doing anything much. Yeah, so after the breakout, and that's this zone here, we can observe the market is kind of trying to find some support, but there's not much of a support zone being tested here. At the moment, the market is kind of falling below the psychological 100 level. Does this matter? Not too much, as the index is not widely being traded, but it gives us some further impact, obviously, for the euro-dollar currency pair. And with the dollar index falling, the weakness in the dollar in the greenback might continue to celebrate some momentum. Again here, long-term chart, we have been trading already way below this 50 moving average on the long-term chart, and that indicates some further weakness might be around the corner. Guys, this is it for our outlook here for this week. We have a lot of stuff to talk about this coming week. We have lots of news events, minor importance, but they are interesting here, obviously, throughout the week, apart from the Wednesday's ADP figure and the non-farm payrolls, which we gonna trade live on Friday here this coming week. So stay tuned, focus up on market news and events. Talk to you soon. See you then, guys. Have a good one trading. Bye-bye.